In today's fast-paced world, we constantly face challenges from all directions, from work pressures to social life, and especially personal relationships. Amidst this chaos, a crucial question arises. How can we maintain inner balance and continue personal growth without being dragged down by toxic relationships? Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured for thousands of years, offers profound advice. Sometimes, to move forward, we must have the courage to let go of relationships that no longer serve us, even if they involve family or close friends. But how do we know when it's time to end a relationship? This decision is never easy and can bring complex emotions. That's why it's essential to recognize the signs that a relationship has become toxic or is no longer contributing positively to our lives. In this article, we'll explore 11 critical signs you should pay attention to. These signs help you recognize when it's time to distance yourself and open the door to true peace and freedom. Let's delve into these indicators to see if it might be time to reevaluate your relationships and take action to protect your well-being. 1. When negative emotions dominate the relationship. Emotions are an integral part of any relationship, but when negative emotions like anger, jealousy, or resentment dominate, they can harm both the relationship and the individuals involved. This is especially true when these negative emotions become a regular part of the relationship, turning it into a source of stress and pain rather than a place of refuge. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who quickly gets angry or jealous over your minor successes. Every time you achieve something, instead of sharing in your joy, they feel insecure and may even unfairly criticize you. Conversations that should be constructive turn into pointless arguments, leaving you feeling drained and hurt. Instead of offering support and encouragement, this relationship makes you feel anxious and unsettled. When these negative emotions become the norm, they can cause you to lose control over your feelings and self-discipline. This not only impacts the relationship, but also erodes your inner peace. You may start reacting automatically to stressful situations, getting caught in a cycle of anger and frustration without realizing that you gradually lose the peace you deserve. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot fully control what happens around us, we can control how we respond. When a relationship only brings negativity and makes you feel constantly overwhelmed by unwanted emotions, it may be time to question whether the relationship is worth keeping. By recognizing and dealing with these emotions maturely, you can begin the journey to regain emotional balance and protect your inner peace. Sometimes, to protect your peace and personal growth, you must have the courage to let go of relationships filled with negative emotions, even if it's difficult and painful. But this is necessary because you can only live a truly fulfilling and meaningful life by maintaining inner tranquility. 2. If you are being manipulated or controlled. In any relationship, autonomy is crucial for ensuring equality and mutual respect. However, some relationships involve one party being constantly manipulated or controlled, leading to a loss of personal freedom. This signifies that the relationship is no longer healthy and may harm your mind and spirit. Imagine being in a relationship where the other person tries to control every aspect of your life. From who you meet to what you do, even the most minor decisions must be approved by them. Your choices and opinions are consistently dismissed or belittled. Gradually, you find yourself trapped in a framework they've set, with no room for your input or freedom. Instead of being a companion, they control your life, leaving you feeling lost and devalued. Manipulation and control erode your autonomy and diminish your sense of self-worth, turning you into a version of yourself that the other person wants rather than who you are. You might begin to doubt yourself, feel incapable of making decisions independently, and gradually lose confidence and independence. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of mastering your own life. According to this philosophy, true freedom is not the absence of constraints, but the ability to manage and control yourself in every situation. When you realize that you're in a relationship where the other person constantly infringes on your autonomy, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. You deserve the freedom to make decisions about your life, and no one has the right to take that away from you. Breaking free from a manipulative relationship is not always easy. It sometimes requires great courage and determination. However, this is necessary to restore your freedom and personal independence. Remember, a healthy relationship is one where both parties respect each other's autonomy and grow together on their paths, not bound by one another's control. 3. When the relationship hinders personal growth. Personal growth is one of the most important aspects of life. It's the continuous process of learning, self-improvement, and discovering your potential. However, not all relationships support this process. Some relationships become burdens, holding us back and preventing us from reaching new heights. This is when we need to reflect and assess the value of those relationships. Imagine having a close friend from high school. For years, you've shared memories and been inseparable. However, this friend disagrees as you begin to pursue new goals, learn new things, and develop your career. Instead of supporting you, they constantly remind you of past mistakes, doubt your ability to succeed, and even try pulling you back into old habits you're trying to leave behind. In this case, the relationship is no longer the source of motivation you need. It's holding you back instead of helping you move forward, steering you away from the path you're striving to follow. This is a clear sign that the relationship has become an obstacle, and maintaining it may cause you to miss out on growth opportunities. It's essential to recognize that personal growth is not just your journey alone, but also about choosing suitable companions. True friends will always stand by you, support you, and encourage you to explore your potential. On the other hand, if a relationship only brings negativity and hinders your progress, it may be time to reconsider the role of that relationship in your life. Remember, sometimes, letting go of an old relationship is necessary to make room for growth and more positive connections. 4. When the relationship causes more harm than good. Every relationship in life brings us unique experiences and lessons. However, not all relationships are positive or help us progress. Some relationships, instead of being a source of support, become sources of stress, anxiety, and pain. When a relationship starts to cause more harm than good, it's a sign that you must look seriously at it. Think of a relationship you once had with someone who always seemed to criticize and judge you, no matter how hard you tried. Every conversation left you feeling insecure, inadequate, and even depressed. Even when you achieved something, they would downplay or ignore it, focusing only on your weaknesses and mistakes. What moments of joy and encouragement should have turned into burdens you wanted to avoid? Such a relationship doesn't just affect your spirit. It also hurts your overall health. You may feel drained of energy, inspiration, and motivation as this relationship constantly makes you feel tired and depleted. Instead of helping you grow, it becomes a significant obstacle on the path you're trying to pursue. Recognizing a toxic relationship is an important step, but deciding to distance yourself or end that relationship is even more crucial. This doesn't mean you don't care about the other person, but rather that you're protecting yourself from negative influences. Remember, your well-being and mental health should always be a top priority. When a relationship no longer brings benefits and only causes harm, freeing yourself from it is how you create space for positive relationships and rebuild your life more robustly. Not all relationships are worth maintaining, and sometimes letting go is necessary for you to move forward on your journey of personal growth. Be brave enough to acknowledge and make the right decisions for your well-being and happiness. 5. When the relationship prevents acceptance of reality. One of Stoicism's core principles is accepting reality as it is, untainted by illusions or unrealistic desires. This also applies to relationships. If a relationship keeps you living in illusions or encourages you to ignore the truth, then that relationship is preventing you from living a genuine and meaningful life. Imagine being in a relationship where the other person constantly makes promises that are never fulfilled. They might paint grand plans promising a fantastic future, but there needs to be concrete action to make those promises a reality. You get caught up in false dreams, and gradually, you start living in a world of misplaced expectations, ignoring the real issues that both of you face. When you try to address these real difficulties, they evade the topic, making excuses or simply denying the problems. This relationship prevents you from facing reality and leaves you lost in waiting and false hope. You may find yourself defending and maintaining an idealized image of the relationship rather than recognizing and addressing the core issues. As a result, you may miss out on essential opportunities in life or even lose touch with yourself because you're not living in reality. Stoicism encourages us to face reality honestly without fleeing or avoiding difficulties. A healthy relationship should help you see life clearly, fostering personal growth and development. If a relationship only leads you into illusions, then it's time to reassess its value. Ending such a relationship can be significantly tricky when you've invested a lot of emotions into it. However, doing so can help you break free from the shackles of illusions and find a path to living a more genuine, healthier life. Remember, you can only find true peace and happiness by accepting and living in reality. 6. When the relationship forces you to compromise your values. Personal values are the foundation of who we are, shaping how we perceive the world and guiding our lives. When a relationship starts to demand that you compromise or abandon your core values, it's a clear sign that the relationship is no longer aligned with your best interests. Imagine a relationship where the other person constantly asks you to act against your beliefs. For example, if you value honesty, but the other person repeatedly encourages you to hide the truth or engage in dishonest behavior, you'll feel deep internal conflict. Gradually, you may feel like losing a part of yourself just to maintain the relationship. Continuous compromise on important values can leave you feeling lost, directionless, and even dissatisfied with yourself. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in alignment with your values. You lose your integrity when a relationship forces you to abandon your core principles. No relationship is worth sacrificing the values you hold dear. Remember, compromise is sometimes necessary in certain aspects of life, but when it touches on your fundamental values, you must reassess the relationship. Deciding to leave a relationship because it conflicts with your values can be difficult and painful. However, it's also an act of courage, protecting your integrity and self-worth. Stay true to what you believe in, and remember that a healthy relationship respects and supports your core values, helping you grow without requiring you to lose yourself. 7. When there is a lack of mutual respect. Mutual respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. When respect exists, the relationship can thrive and provide joy and support to both parties. However, when respect is lacking, the relationship not only becomes weak, but can also cause serious harm to your self-esteem and mental health. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who consistently dismisses your opinions, feelings, and needs. Whenever you offer a perspective or suggestion, you are mocked or ignored instead of being listened to and considered. Gradually, you begin to feel that you have no value in the eyes of the other person, and any attempts to communicate or resolve issues are met with resistance. Instead of being a space where you can share and seek support, the relationship becomes a source of frustration and dissatisfaction. A lack of respect in a relationship devalues you and creates an environment filled with tension and conflict. You quickly feel undervalued when you are not respected, leading to low self-esteem and confidence. Moreover, a lack of respect often goes hand in hand with a lack of understanding and empathy, turning every exchange into a pointless argument. In such a situation, continuing the relationship not only harms you but also undermines the values you believe in. Stoicism reminds us that dignity and self-respect are essential qualities we must protect in all circumstances. When you recognize that a relationship lacks this fundamental element, it's time to reconsider its presence in your life. It's essential to evaluate the relationship, and if mutual respect cannot be restored, then sometimes distancing yourself or ending the relationship is the best choice. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, and no one has the right to diminish your worth. Choosing relationships based on mutual respect ensures that your life is surrounded by people who genuinely care for and appreciate you. 8. When there is no reciprocity in the relationship. A healthy relationship is based on reciprocity, where both parties contribute and receive fairly. When a relationship loses this balance, where one side always gives without ever receiving in return, it's a sign of an unsustainable relationship fraught with serious issues. Imagine being in a relationship where you continuously invest time, emotions, and effort while the other person seems only to take without ever giving back. You are the one who always listens, always there when they need you. But when you face difficulties, they appear indifferent or unavailable. Over time, you might feel used and undervalued when all your efforts go unrecognized or unreciprocated. A classic example could be a friendship where you always initiate contact and organize meetups. Still, the other person has yet to try to reach out, call, or show interest in you. When you need help, they always have an excuse or don't show up. This creates a significant imbalance, leaving you feeling exhausted and frustrated. Such a relationship drains your spirit and erodes your confidence and self-esteem. You might start to wonder if you're asking for too much, but you're stuck in an unfair relationship where both parties should share the support and care equally. Stoicism encourages us to seek balance and fairness in our relationships. A sustainable relationship is one where both parties feel respected, heard, and reciprocated. If your relationship lacks this reciprocity, it may be time to reconsider its role in your life. Ending a relationship that lacks reciprocity can be a difficult decision, but it's also necessary to protect your mental health and self-esteem. Remember, you deserve to be treated fairly and respectfully in all relationships. Healthy relationships will help you grow and feel valued rather than drain you and diminish your sense of self-worth. 9. When communication consistently fails. Communication is the cornerstone of any relationship. When communication is effective, it creates understanding, trust, and connection between two people. However, when communication breaks down repeatedly, the relationship becomes strained and exhausting and can eventually lead to its demise. Imagine being in a relationship where the other person responds by interrupting, ignoring, or changing the subject whenever you talk about your feelings or essential issues. When you express dissatisfaction or a desire to change something, they turn away or become defensive, leaving you feeling unheard or disrespected. Over time, you realize that all efforts to communicate are in vain, and the relationship becomes increasingly distant, divided by walls of silence and misunderstanding. When communication consistently fails, the relationship loses its connection and trust. Both parties may feel isolated, distant, and even resentful toward each other. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of understanding and mutual respect. When effective communication is impossible, the relationship will slowly wither and no longer provide positive value to either party. If you find yourself in a relationship where communication has failed repeatedly, it might be time to reassess the relationship. Professional intervention, such as a counselor or therapist, might be needed to help both parties find common ground. However, if all efforts to improve communication fail, ending the relationship may be the best option to protect both of your mental health. Remember, a lasting relationship is built on feelings, understanding, and the ability to communicate effectively. If communication consistently fails, the relationship will no longer be a safe and comfortable place, but a burden that leaves both parties exhausted and hurt. 10. When the relationship disrupts your tranquility. Tranquility and inner peace are crucial for maintaining mental health and living a balanced life. When a relationship continuously disrupts this peace, leaving you feeling anxious, stressed, or unsettled, it's a clear sign that the relationship may no longer be healthy. Imagine having a relationship with someone where every encounter or conversation leaves you feeling heavy and drained. Instead of feeling recharged and comforted, you feel like you're entering a mental battlefield. Endless arguments, subtle criticisms, or constant underlying tension keep you under stress, undermining the tranquility you must face in everyday life. Perhaps it's a relationship where the other person constantly brings unnecessary drama, making you feel like you're always putting out fires or dealing with issues that shouldn't exist. This constant instability makes it difficult for you to focus on the other essential aspects of your life, and instead of feeling peaceful, you find yourself constantly on edge. Stoicism teaches us that to live a whole and meaningful life, inner peace is indispensable. When a relationship continuously disrupts your tranquility, it means it no longer serves your growth and happiness. A precious relationship provides support, understanding, and peace, not a source of anxiety and disorder. If you notice that your relationship is causing constant turmoil in your soul, it may be time to evaluate that relationship seriously. No one deserves to live in a state of anxiety and unease just to maintain an unhealthy relationship. Keeping your distance or ending that relationship may be necessary steps to regain your peace and focus on what truly matters in life. Remember, you have the right to live in peace and happiness. A relationship worth keeping makes you feel safe, loved, and supported. If your current relationship doesn't offer that, be brave enough to face it and make the necessary decisions to protect your tranquility. 11. When there is any form of abuse. Abuse, in any form, is utterly unacceptable in any relationship. Whether physical, emotional, verbal, or financial, these behaviors cause harm and erode your values and self-esteem. When you realize that you are trapped in an abusive relationship, that's when you need to take action to protect yourself. Imagine being in a relationship where the other person frequently uses harsh, hurtful words to belittle you. Whenever there is a minor disagreement, they don't hesitate to criticize you cruelly, making you feel worthless and inadequate. Instead of resolving conflicts peacefully, they choose to hurt you, turning the relationship into a cycle of emotional pain without end. Abuse is not limited to words. You may face financial control, where every spending decision is tightly monitored, leaving no economic freedom. Or you might be in a relationship where the other person uses violence to intimidate or control you. No matter the form, abuse has severe consequences for your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Stoicism teaches us about self-respect and personal dignity. No one has the right to harm or control you in this way. When you recognize that you're in an abusive situation, The most important thing is to find a way out. Understanding that abuse is never your fault and that there is no justification for this behavior is the first step in reclaiming control over your life. Leaving an abusive relationship can be very challenging, especially when you've been threatened or are dependent on the other person. However, it is necessary to protect your safety and well-being. Seek help from trusted friends, family, or support organizations because you don't have to face this alone. Remember, you deserve to live in a relationship based on respect and love, not fear and pain. Any act of abuse is a clear sign that the relationship needs to end so you can start a new life, free and safe. Conclusion. We all have relationships that we sometimes need to question whether they truly contribute to our growth and happiness. Through the 11 signs discussed, it's clear that not every relationship is worth maintaining. When a relationship begins to hinder personal development, is dominated by negative emotions, or even harms your mental health, it's time to take action. We must have the courage to recognize unhealthy relationships and be ready to take the necessary steps to protect ourselves. This may require the bravery to let go of those close to us, but it's an essential move to create space for positive growth and inner peace. Remember, you deserve to live in relationships based on respect, reciprocity, and tranquility. Don't hesitate to change and seek proper balance and happiness in life. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to ensure you don't miss out on more valuable content in the future. Feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts or share your personal experiences, as we can all learn from each other. Thank you for watching, and see you in the following video.